It was a quiet evening in the mansion, the kind where silence itself felt expensive. Crystal lamps glowed against cream walls, and the faint scent of lavender drifted from polished wood. Amelia, the new maid, wiped the last trace of dust from a gold-framed portrait hanging above the grand piano. But when her eyes lifted to the boy's face, that innocent smile, those ocean blue eyes, her gloved hand froze mid-air. The duster slipped from her fingers and hit the marble floor with a small, hollow sound. Her breath caught. "No," she whispered, her chest tightening as tears welled in her eyes. The man behind her, Mr. Grant, the mansion's stern owner, turned sharply. "What's wrong?" he demanded. Amelia's trembling hand reached toward the portrait, her voice breaking. "Sir, this boy, he lived with me in the orphanage. I used to feed him, tuck him in at night." Her voice cracked completely. "He called me Mama Amy. If this moment touched your heart, take a second to like, comment, and subscribe to Everyday Kindness, because every story here reminds us that compassion can change a life." Mr. Grant frowned, stepping closer. "That's impossible," he said. "This is my son, Ethan. He passed away 6 years ago." Amelia's heart stopped. Passed away? But how could that be? The boy in the portrait wasn't just a face. He was real, living in her memories, his laughter echoing in the orphanage's cracked hallways, his small hands clutching her apron. She turned toward the window, the moonlight brushing her tears. "Sir, I don't know what happened after he was adopted, but I swear on my life, that's him." The mansion fell into a deep, echoing silence. The grandfather clock ticked once. Mr. Grant's voice softened, uncertain now. "Tell me everything," he said quietly. Amelia took a trembling breath. "He came to our orphanage when he was just 3. No one knew where he came from. He had that same scar on his chin. See it there?" She pointed. Mr. Grant turned pale. The scar was identical. The same faint mark his son had gotten from a fall when he was 2. Mr. Grant's hand tightened into a fist. "Ethan was kidnapped," he said, his voice shaking for the first time. "We searched everywhere for years. The police said there was no trace." His throat locked. "You're telling me he was alive?" Amelia's tears fell freely now. He was more than alive. He was kind. He used to give his bread to the younger children. He'd say, "Mama Amy, I'll share mine. They're smaller than me." Her words broke him. The powerful man turned away, pressing a hand to his eyes. Days later, Mr. Grant returned to the orphanage with Amelia. Dust covered the wooden benches, the paint was peeling, and the laughter of children was gone. But as Amelia unlocked a small drawer in her old room, she pulled out a faded photo, a group of children around a table, and in the middle, smiling, was the same boy from the portrait. Mr. Grant took the photo with shaking hands. "It's him," he whispered. "My boy." He sank to his knees. For the first time in years, tears ran down his face, not of power or loss, but of love rediscovered too late. Amelia knelt beside him. "Sir, maybe he didn't live long, but he knew love. He knew family. He found that here." Mr. Grant looked at her, and for the first time the walls of wealth and grief between them broke. "Then thank you," he said hoarsely. "You gave my son what I couldn't." That night, back in the mansion, Mr. Grant hung the orphanage photo beside the boy's portrait. Underneath it he placed a small plaque that read, "Love makes a home, not walls." And as Amelia looked up at it, tears shimmering under the chandelier's glow, she whispered, "Rest now, little one. Mama Amy found you again." If this story reminded you that everyone deserves a second chance, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because kindness shared is kindness multiplied. Have you ever seen forgiveness change someone's heart? Sometimes the people who have the least give the most love, and that love becomes the only home the lost ever need.